courtship is not a season to end all conflicts. One, because you don't even, there are some conflicts that you will never know that you are going to face until both of you are married and you're living together. Because just like in dating, whereas two people are trying to, quote unquote, impress one another as they are doing the experimental relationship of trying to see if they are good for one another. In courtship, why we are not impressing one another, I mean, this is a relationship, according to the explanation I've given, that started on the basis that both of you believe that God is leading you to go ahead into this relationship. But even the mere fact that that is settled, it takes off the pressure, of course, of wanting to impress one another. There is nothing to, it's not about impressing. But there are still elements of, there are still dimensions of relationships that cannot emanate in courtship, because you're not living together. I mean, in Christian courtship anyways, if you are living together, then I don't see that as a
Let us
Christian.
believe in Christian courtship. Let's believe like believing Christian courtship.
I
Some
mean,
Christians are not believers.
yeah, it's a shame that we have to qualify that word these days. In fact, when you say Christians, you still have to talk about born again Christians, as if there are some Christians that are not
Believing
born again.
believers.
And then you still need to talk about genuinely born again Christians and all those kind of things.
We need to put it.
So, but I'm coming from the perspective of two people that are practical Christians. Let me use that word. Practical Christians, you are living out your faith. You are living a life that is consistent with your faith. And so, of course, in that kind of context, courtship is not a time for you to live together. It's not a time for cohabitation. It's not a time for premarital sex and all those kind of stuff. So there are different things that you will not be able to see, because the best you can have is just communication. And you are doing your best to communicate. You are observing, you are noticing things, and you are talking about it. You're noticing this and noticing that and talking about it. And that is very helpful. That would help both of you to start preparing yourselves mentally for the kind of journey that is ahead. But until you get married, that's actually when you discover that this whole issue of conflict that you've had in courtship is just a pre-season. The TV show is just about to start.
Hey, it's a trailer.
It's a trailer. I like that. It's a trailer for what is to come in marriage. But the beauty of it is, if you have mastered, and this is possible, if you have mastered the heart of handling conflicts, whatever kind of conflicts they are in courtship, it becomes easier to process any kind of conflict that emanates in marriage, because you've started doing it, you've understood the basic principles. And while I may not be able to start giving 7 principles or keys to managing conflicts, one major one that stood out, especially in my relationship with my wife, we courted from February 2012 to July 2016 when we got married. So that's like 4 years and 5 or 6 months. But in all of those months, one of the things that we came to a conclusion about, that we learned early enough and that lasted through the journey of our courtship, is the fact that both of us submit to the leadership of the Holy Spirit. As simple and straightforward as that sounds, I tell you, that's the master conflict resolver. Wow. And so there are times that we're going through a season of conflict, and just a simple instruction from the Holy Spirit will lay everything to rest. It tells you what to do. It lets you know when you are the one on the wrong, and it lets you know what to say to apologize. Of course, very many times we choose to be proud and keep holding on to our ego, exactly, and doing strong-head, to use your words. But if we are going to actually submit to the leading of the Holy Spirit, there is no conflict that is irreconcilable, if I could use that word, both in courtship and in marriage. So don't be scared about the fact that the real conflicts are going to come when you start living together as a married couple. The fact is, you can, in your courtship, master the principles, and the ultimate principle is to submit to the leadership of the one that brought you two together.
Thank you very much, sir. So now, in fact, you've answered my next question, because my next question was going to be, is it possible not to have courtship? I'll be sorry, any issue or conflict
Conflict.
in any relationship? But from what
That's
you said, it's not possible.
it's not possible.
It's
It's
just to
not
find a
possible.
very strong way
Yeah.
to submit to the leader of the spirits, and we should get. So I already wrote to my sisters. I asked my people that are going to read that Holy Spirit is a true friend. Do you have him as your friend?